What's up, ladies and gents? Have you ever stopped to think about why throughout our life there are certain things and stages that have timetables and why they are so successful? For example, when we are at school, we know that at this specific time we have this subject to go to, or at this specific time we have lunchtime. The important key here is structure. Anything that has no structure simply just falls. Think about it this way: if you had a house that had no foundations or no walls, then the house would not stand. And our own curriculum in life can be seen exactly as that, an important part of the overall structure. In this video, I'm going to go over why I think having your own curriculum is very important in life, even outside of your work and studies. And I will cover how you can go about setting up your own structure that will work for you to keep yourself in check when those procrastination vibes start kicking in. Firstly, let's talk about what is meant by a curriculum. To me, it is a plan, a blueprint if you will, that will keep you in check and tell you what to do each specific time of the day and keep you away from falling into the habit of procrastination. It is a plan that you can go back to whenever you feel like you are simply floating around, not knowing what to do, or being lazy. And as a matter of fact, I would urge you to actually set up a ritual where you review this specific plan every single morning or every single afternoon in advance to actually tackle the root cause of procrastination rather than waiting around for when procrastination manifests itself. A curriculum could be anything from a more generic mission statement with some goals, or something a bit more precise like an actual timetable. The important step here is to have a clear goal with clear steps, something that is measurable and that will keep you accountable, something that you will be able to review and see that it is efficient and that you are actually making progress. So when we talk about having a curriculum, we obviously want something that works, right? We don't want something just for the sake of having it. So in my opinion, a very key ingredient in setting up a curriculum is having a SMART goal. So if you're not familiar with the acronym SMART when it comes to goal setting, this is what it stands for. You need to make sure that a goal is specific. What it means is that you know exactly what it is that you're setting yourself to achieve. You need to make sure that the goal is measurable. So the key here is that you're able to see the difference between where you are now and where you are when you actually achieve that goal. That could be anything from being able to run a mile in under a specific time. The goal has to be achievable. Obviously, the goal should be challenging, but it needs to be realistic about actually, are you able to achieve this specific goal in the time that you set yourself? Otherwise, all it is a dream. The goal needs to be realistic. So to further iterate the point of achievable, can this goal be achieved by anyone at all? Is it something that's just so ludicrous and ridiculous that it's impossible? Or is it something that can be achieved and perhaps you need to put a lot of work into it, but it is realistic? It's not simply conjuring something out of thin air. And lastly, it needs to be time bound. So to keep yourself accountable, what is the deadline? When are you planning to achieve this by? With that in mind, what method do you actually pick for your curriculum? There are quite a few, and I will name just a couple, but if you really don't know where to start, I would suggest picking a few of those, trying them at the same time, and seeing what sticks. Not everything is going to work for everyone, so it's important to actually take something that works for you, that you can stick with, that's sustainable, something that keeps you motivated, that's something that stops you from falling back into the bad habits. Truth of the matter is, some people do thrive better in a more structured and disciplined environment, although there are some people who actually prefer more flexibility as that works better for them. So the important thing here is you need to know yourself, and you know yourself best, of course. One important thing about flexibility is that you should never mistake flexibility for pure laziness and procrastination. It is okay if that flexibility allows you to derive and create better goals and have better results. But if that flexibility means you are simply sitting around and actually slipping back into the bad behaviors, then I would suggest you might actually need a bit more discipline in your life. Okay, so the first one is the hour-by-hour routine method. So this is the most rigorous of them all, and this is the most structured of them all. And what you do here is you literally divide your day in the morning, or simply the day before, into hour-by-hour or 30-minute blocks, and you list out all the things you want to do in that specific block of time. That could be something like 9 a.m. I'm eating breakfast, right? 9:30, I'm stretching. I would suggest doing it the night before, only because if you do it in the morning, sometimes you slip into actually not knowing what to do and you just get back into the procrastination stage. If you know in advance what you're doing tomorrow, you're more likely to stick with that timetable. The second method is the daily themes. So what you do with this one is you set yourself a theme for the day that you would typically do all those tasks that fall into that specific theme in that specific day. So let's say that on Mondays, what I do is I work on my business. On Tuesdays, what I do is I work on personal development. So then you can plan around and okay, well, I've got this personal development book to read, or I'm doing this online course, so I do this on Tuesday. I've got these things to do with my business, I do that on Monday. This is a great way if you want to have some flexibility in terms of the actual tasks, the hour-by-hour tasks that you would be doing, but you also do want a little bit of structure to know exactly what you're doing each day. Obviously, this method works really well if you have very little or no day-to-day tasks that you need to complete each single day. If you do have those tasks, what I would suggest is that you set yourself however long it takes, an hour, 2 hours each morning to get those done first, or you can even do it in the afternoon if you know you have the time, and then you can just crack on with your daily theme. The third one is the 3 intentions. So before you start the day, you would simply sit down with a piece of paper and a pen or in front of your whiteboard and list down the 3 key things that you absolutely must get done today. These are the 3 things you cannot go to bed if they are not completed. And below that, you can have many more different tasks if you want, but you do not get onto those tasks until the 3 key intentions are fully done. Obviously, with this one, you don't want to have your head in the clouds. You do want to make sure that those intentions are definitely achievable within this specific day, because otherwise you start getting into the habit of actually mistrusting yourself and being okay with not achieving what you set yourself to do. If those intentions are slightly unattainable, what I would suggest is actually breaking them down into smaller sub-goals that are attainable within this specific day. And the last one that I will mention today is the daily mission. This is something that can actually work very well with all the other techniques. So the key here is that you set yourself a daily task that you want to do every single day, and that could be something like stretching for 15 minutes every single day, or meditating for 10 minutes every day, or reading for 30 minutes every day, or writing a blog post each day on a specific topic. This technique is obviously a great one if there is a specific habit that you want to form, because it obviously takes a while for a new habit to form and instill in yourself. And once again, the important thing here is still to have a measurable goal, something that you can actually attain, something that is, time bound. So you would say, okay, well, I want to read, but how long do you want to read for? Is there a specific topic you want to read on? All these things really do matter when setting yourself the daily mission as well. Thanks for watching the video, and I do hope that it was somewhat useful. If you do think that this helped you, please leave a thumbs up. And if you're enjoying these videos, I would really appreciate if you subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Peace and love.